Hello students, today we have to know about the next continuation part in the lesson Indian physiography about that peninsular plateau. So peninsular plateau almost it is the third division. I told you already some points in this yesterday. So peninsular plateau. So today we have to know about that. What are the importance of peninsular plateau? Yes, peninsular plateau is having a greater economic importance and it is a economic significant also, because by this many of the people earn a lot of money, so that's why it has a greater economic significance. Keep in mind, peninsular plateau having a greater economic significance. It is rich in minerals, forest and biodiversity, because many of the hill regions we can see in the peninsular plateau, I told you already, Aravali Ranges, Vindhya, Satpura, Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, Chota Nagapura. So these are all the ranges we can see in the peninsular plateau only. So that's why it is very rich in minerals, forest and biodiversity. That is also one of the importance or uses. It is very rich in minerals, forest and biodiversity. Keep in mind, and biodiversity. So next is about that it has a mainly the soil in this is black soil. Which soil it is? That is the black soil. Keep in mind. Okay, and this black soil is very fertile actually, and it is the best suitable for agriculture. And it is also, the peninsular plateau is also the birthplace of many South Indian rivers. How the Himalayan mountain is the birthplace for the North Indian river, in the same way peninsular plateau is the birthplace of many South Indian rivers. That thing you have to concentrate. And if the rivers are there, yes, there will be the river fall, water falling is there. There it helps for the production of what? Or the generation of hydroelectricity. It is help for the production of what? Hydroelectricity. So these were the importance of peninsular plateau. Keep in mind. So I'll repeat again. What are the importance of peninsular plateau? Importance of Northern Greater Plain, Himalayas, peninsular plateau or the coastal region, very important. Anyone definitely they will ask in that. Okay. So that's why you have to keep concentrate on those. Okay. Yes, it is having a very economic significance, because by this many of the peoples are earned a lot of money, and it is rich in many minerals because it is the Ghat section or the forest area. And also here we can see the many biodiversity in the sense many wild animals or many animals having a shelter on that. And it is a good it is having a black soil is best suitable for the agriculture. And the many South Indian rivers are took birth in the peninsular plateau. Many South Indian rivers are took birth in the peninsular plateau, including the Kaveri or Brahmaputra or Krishna Nadi. So in the same way, okay, then, and it is also help for the hydroelectric power generation. Okay, so these were the importance of peninsular plateau. So next we have to know about the coastal plain, the last division, that is the coastal plain. I taught you already the three divisions, which are those. One is called the Himalayan mountain, second one is the Northern mountain, third one is the peninsular plateau, and the last one is the coastal plain. So what is meant by coastal plain? Actually, coastal plain in the sense the area which is next to the sea, which help for the fishing or which help for the shipping, etc. So that area is called as the coastal region. The area along the sea coast is called as the coastal plain. So this coastal plain has divided into two. One is called as the western coastal plain and the another one is the eastern coastal plain. It has divided into two. One is called as the western coastal plain and another one is the eastern coastal plain. That thing you have to keep in mind. Yes, Thus, this western coastal plain, again, this has been divided into three parts. So, this western coastal plain, which are those three parts? One is called as the Konkan coast, very important. So, that is Konkan coast. The second one is Karnataka coast. Karnataka coast, I mean what we are seeing in our coastal area. So, that is the Karnataka coast. And the third one is Malabar coast. Malabar coast. Western coastal plain has been divided into three parts, namely that is Konkan coast, Karnataka coast and Malabar coast. Malabar coast. Okay, and in the same way, eastern coastal plain has been divided into two parts only. One is called as the Nadran Sircar and another one Coromandel coast. Nadran Sircar, Nadran Sircar, and another one is Coromandel coast. Coromandel coast. So these are the two divisions of eastern coastal plain and three divisions of western coastal plain. Okay, so this Konkan coast actually extend from Daman to Goa. It is extend from Daman or Daman, anyone we can pronounce, Daman to Goa. I think you know about that. These two were the Portuguese trading centers. Yes, and the Karnataka coast is extend from Goa to Mangaluru. It is extend from this Goa to Mangaluru. Mangaluru beach, you heard about that, right? And this Malabar coast is extend from Mangaluru. From this Mangaluru to Kanyakumari. Mangaluru, there will be the link each other. Mangaluru to Kanyakumari. So keep in mind. So Konkan coast extend from Daman to Goa, Karnataka coast extend from Goa to Mangaluru, and Malabar coast extend from Mangaluru to Kanyakumari. Mangaluru to Kanyakumari. Yes, and the eastern coast division I told you already, they are the Nadran Sircar and the Coromandel coast. What are the difference between the western coast and the eastern coast actually? So it lies between, this western coast lies between the Western Ghat and the Arabian Sea, because to the western I told you already the Arabian Sea is there, and to the east Bay of Bengal is there, and to the west there will be the Arabian Sea. So the western coastal plain is extended from the Western Ghat to Arabian Sea. In the same way, the eastern coastal plain is extended from the Eastern Ghat to Bay of Bengal. Eastern Ghat to Bay of Bengal. This area is completely called as Western coastal plain, and this is the Eastern coastal plain. Yes, the Western coastal plain, it is a narrow, steepy and rocky. It is narrow. Narrow means uddavagirutte, steepy means aadavagirutte, and also rocky in the sense many stones, big stones, rocks we can find, that is, and it is a plain and deltas. Here we can find the plain in the sense yesterday only I told you, a soft soil which is having a soft soil, and delta also, deltas in the sense which the soil is covered in the pyramid shape like that. So if it is there, that is, they are called as the deltas. Okay, in the Western Ghats we can see the narrow, steepy and rocky, but in the Eastern Ghats we can see the plains and the deltas. These were the differences between the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Okay, so yes, next, what are the importance of this coastal plain? Importance in the sense uses. So I think you know about the coastal plain, the main occupations of the coastal plain people, that is the fishing, right? Is it so that is, it helps for fishing, not agriculture. It is help for fishing, shipbuilding also, ship in the sense ಹಡಗುಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾರೆ, shipbuilding etc. Okay, it helps for fishing, shipbuilding and the production of salt etc. Salt also will be produced So this is the main occupations of this people, coastal area people, which are those fishing, shipbuilding and production of salt. And they help for the navigation also. They provide the natural harbor which help for the foreign trade. These coastal plain, yes, they have provide the natural harbor. Harbor, what is mean by harbor? Harbor means the place where the ships are residing or ships are standing. That place is called as the harbor. How bus stand or airport or railway station are we are called, in the same way the ship residing places are called as the harbor. Keep in mind, okay? And this is a natural harbor, actually no one has constructed, naturally it is built. So this coastal plains has provided the natural harbor, and also it help for navigation. Navigation in the sense many people are navigating the sea. I mean they are moved from one place to another place. That is the navigation. Yes, the last one is islands. What are the coastal plains and islands? So there are the 247 islands in India. How many islands? There are 247 islands are there in India. Among these, 204 are in Bay of Bengal and 43 are in Arabian Sea. Very important. 204. Where they are? They are in Bay of Bengal. And 43 remaining they are in Arabian Sea. In the Bay of Bengal 244 are there, and in Arabian Sea 43 islands are there. Islands in the sense, I think you know about that, the land which has a all the sides, which has covered all the sides of water, and middle there will be the land, that is called as island. But India, I told you, it is a peninsula because it has covered with the three side water. Yes, good example for the islands, actually that is the important islands or coral islands are Andaman and Nicobar Island. It is in a Bay of Bengal. I think you know about that. Andaman and the Nicobar Island, it is in the Bay of Bengal. And the important Lakshadweep Island, it is in the Arabian Sea. It is in the Arabian Sea. This is about the islands. Totally 247 islands are there. Out of these, 204 are in Bay of Bengal and 43 are in Arabian Sea. The important island in the Bay of Bengal, that is the Andaman and Nicobar Island, and the important island in the Arabian Sea, that is the Lakshadweep Island. Yes, and along with that we can see the salty water blackish lake or salty blackish water lake. They are called as the lagoons. If they are asking for one more question, it is what are lagoons? Lagoons means salty blackish water lake. Salty, ಉಪ್ಪು ನೀರಿನ ಸರೋವರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. Salty blackish water lake are called as the lagoons. A good example for that, Chilka Lake, Pulicat Lake. Keep in mind, Chilka and Pulicat. Pulicat Lake are the good example for the lagoons. I think the water is full of salty, so that's why the density of the water, here we can give one scientific reason, that the density of the water is more. So if you walk on the Chilka Lake or Pulicat Lake, we can cross easily by walking only in the water from one beach to another beach. So that is the Chilka and the Pulicat Lake speciality. Okay, so that is the lagoons. I mean we can walk easily over a sea or over a lake or over a water through this lagoon, because it has most percentage of the salt is dissolved in that. Okay, in this. Okay, so that's why they are called as a lagoons. Lagoons means salty blackish water lake. Yes, this lesson has completed. Hope you will understand better. Tomorrow we have to move for the next lesson in the geography. Till that, thank you.